everybody? Tyrone the God 3 here, and here with me I got John.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. It's JPR.
All right then. So we're here today because, there have been just a lot of large talks of Pokemon Let's Go Eevee and Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, and we were actually going to do this discussion earlier. I remember before these games were announced, but I feel like now's a better time than any to discuss it. So Pokemon Go. It's a mobile app that was released 2 years ago, took the world by Pokemon storm, almost like it was the 90s again, right? Everyone you saw with a phone had Pokemon, just like back then when everybody had a Game Boy that had Pokemon or some Pokemon paraphernalia. So, right. So we're going to get straight started on this. John, what were your thoughts when... let me ask, what were your first thoughts when you started around Pokemon Go when you started?
Well, it was really weird for me, honestly, because, I don't know, when I first heard of Pokemon Go, when it was first announced, I wasn't super hyped about it. I was like, oh, it's just catching original 151 Pokemon in the real world. Oh, okay, neat. And most other Pokemon fans didn't seem that excited, too. It was more like the casual audience that really got into it and started hyping up the game. And
the people that left Pokemon long ago.
Yeah, and then that's when I got in, and that was the most peaceful week of human existence, I think, because everyone was out here playing, minus the team rivalries, of course. Other than the team rivalries, I mean, that if we were ever close to world peace, that was it. Because everybody was playing that game. You'd walk down the street, and just people be like, oh, you catch that thing? And it was like, you wouldn't even know these people, but everybody be like, oh yeah, I caught this, I caught that, I took that gym or whatever. It was wild. It was a crazy time, actually.
Right. I remember when I first started playing the game, obviously, I picked up Pokemon Go, and when I found out it was 150 Pokemon, that kind of let me down, but at the same time, it made me realize, okay, well, it's a mobile game, so obviously it's going to update, and we're going to get more Pokemon later on. Just hopefully it isn't, hopefully it doesn't take as long, but I thought it was going to be catering. But at the same time, I was like, okay, this is a mobile game as well, so it's pretty big. And when I tell you at first, I want to tell you, the first 2 weeks were probably the most painstaking weeks of Pokemon Go because the servers kept failing.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I remember that was the only time during the summer that I would wake up before noon because I was like, holy crap, if I wake up late, these servers going to be down because everybody going to be off. So I remember waking up at 6, 7 in the morning just to go around the block and catch some Rattatas and stuff.
So you were really too dedicated to the cause because I wasn't going to do all of that.
Oh, my gosh. I never even closed my app because I was afraid of never getting past the loading screen. I kept it open at all times. Even when I was charging when the phone was asleep. Oh man, I never closed it.
And that was the time that I think they Pokemon Go also drained more battery at that point. They've gotten a little bit more energy efficient since then, I think.
A little bit. It still drains the battery a lot more than other games, but
there's a system that lets you drain less battery though, like a power save mode now.
Yeah, there is a power save. That's right.
Yeah, but back then, oh boy, people were walking around with the phone and the little phone charger, the portable phone chargers.
Mm-hmm.
And I would tell you, there's a spot where I live in St. Louis called the Loop. It's just a spot where all these people go shopping and stuff. It's basically you'll look down the street and everywhere you look, there's a store down that street. So each store has a stop, has a go stop. And when I tell you that day, you couldn't look at one person without a phone playing Pokemon. It was phenomenal. People were driving down the street playing the Billy Crawford's Gotta Catch 'Em All in full blast on their cars. They had a giant guy in a Pikachu costume walking around. There were deals if you catch Pokemon in certain stores. It was a phenomenon. I felt like I was a 90s kid again. It felt like a giant phenomenon.
Well, so I remember when the first night the servers were really stable, when everything was working.
Oh, yeah.
I was up in Scranton, Pennsylvania, site of The Office, if you ever seen that show. Oh,
yeah,
hilarious.
Yeah.
But I was up there, and they have this Civil War kind of thing in the middle of town. There's all these monuments and stuff, and of course they were all Pokestops. And there were I want to say like 1,000, 2,000 people all just circling this thing for hours. And I joined in, and we had so many lures going. We were tracking things like Dragonite and Charizard and Blastoise and Magneton, and all these crazy Pokemon were spawning all over the place. And there would be like a stampede of people when something rare spawned. It was actually crazy.
Yeah, and then people would like, I would also remember people would go to a certain spot where gyms were, and it was just like all sorts of teams just circling around. And literally weeks after, we already had like Team Instinct, Team Valor, and Team Mystic t-shirts selling out, and keychains and things like that. I was like, how did they make these so quickly? The game just came out.
Oh yeah, people are wild.
Like, Hot Topic already had, like, team stuff. And I'm just like, how? The teams literally just started. So, while it did relate very well to the casual fan, at the same time, though, it was that level of casual fan. Pokemon is always known, whether all mistakes aside, they know how to get their audience. And they definitely did. Flaws aside, because I can tell you, both you and I, since we're hardcore Pokemon gamers, I think we can pretty much point out all of the major flaws of Pokemon Go right from the get-go. I mean, first of all, you don't even get to battle with the wild Pokemon. You just catch them, so it's all luck-based.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, let me ask about that. Did that turn you off towards the game a little, or did that affect you in any way when you found that out?
Not really, because, like, I expected it to be that way, and I figured, oh, you know, this will be much more, open to the casual demographic, like you said. And so I really didn't mind it. I think it's part of the reason why the game's success was so big, because I guess people don't want to figure out, tight matchups from the start and all that other stuff. They just want to flick the Pokeball and play the game. So I actually think it was a good idea. It had some pretty good execution as well, so I was not against it, actually.
Like, okay, and then to me, it just felt like a glorified Safari Zone for the most part.
Yeah, that is another thing, because you don't have, like, any real depth. I mean, once you get the berries, it's a little bit better, but besides that, you're just flinging the Pokeballs.
And then back then, oh man, they've gone such a way now, because back then it was just the raspberry, right?
Yeah, I think so. You just had the raspberry, and you had to wait till a certain amount of levels to even unlock it, I think. You just had Pokeballs at the start.
Yeah, it was just Pokeballs. The raspberries were updated later.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think the raspberries were always in the game, but you had to wait till like level 10 or something to get them.
Oh.
Same way how like you couldn't get Ultra Balls till like level 20 or something like that.
Right. That's right. And then I know there were other secrets. I know I like facepalmed majorly when I found out that the only way to get Pikachu at that time, well, it wasn't the only way, but it was one of the quickest ways to get Pikachu was to wait. Like, don't catch any of the Charmander, Squirtle, or Bulbasaur.
Oh yeah, you had to walk like something like 3 miles or 3 kilometers away from the actual starter Pokemon to get Pikachu.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, when I figured that out, I was like, God darn it. And then the Eevee evolution trick, I thought that was pretty neat. So there are
it was neat because nobody knew how the game worked, right? It was like playing through a Gen 1 game, and there are all these rumors out there, right? Because people were like, people were like, oh, you can get Mew underneath the truck. It was like almost that ridiculous level of rumors. I remember somebody saying, oh, you can pick up the Pokeball off the ground if you miss or something like that, or you can. There was all this misinformation out there, and so we're sort of sorting through it and figuring out what was true and what was false was actually like pretty fun in my opinion. It really brought back like some of the mysteriousness that's been missing in a lot of newer Pokemon games.
Right. I even remember they posted a fake article of some kid that claimed that he already caught Mew. Mm-hmm. And it got all over Facebook.
There was another fake article, I remember something like that, where like a Team Mystic guy called like tech support or something about his Pokecoins or whatever, yes. and the guy who was helping him was like, hey, Team Mystic Life, I'll give you an Articuno or something like that.
Yeah, I remember they had that, and it was always Team Mystic too. Like, how come they always?
Oh, because they're the normie team, everybody's Team Mystic. Ugh.
Well, right, and then to my behold, your team Valor, right?
That is correct.
Right, and Valor
And your
was
Team
ba-
Instinct, we can sort of get along. We can, as long as we're not
Right.
Mystic.
Well, because mainly Valor was the team, and I remember you and I both did this. You made a video promoting
Oh, yeah.
Team Valor, and then I made a video promoting Team Instinct.
Oh yeah, we had the two warring videos. They both did really well too. That was funny.
And
actually.
oh yeah, that video was like one of my top videos. Like,
Oh, yeah.
To this day, I still get messages about it, like comments.
I think one of my best friend, like real life people, he played Pokemon growing up with me, and then he kind of faded out, and then he started playing Pokemon Go again, and I remember he liked that video like on his Twitter feed, and I was like, what? This dude like Tyrone's video? What is going on?
Right.
It's like the world stood still for a moment. It's like my childhood friend who like just dropped out of Pokemon. He likes Tyrone's Team Instinct video.
Right, and I think what's funny is that like Team Valor, and I'm willing to admit this, Team Valor I believe has taken over the most gyms by far because they're very competitive. They're the most
I
competitive.
think they
team.
did it first, but I don't know if anyone's still keeping track. But
Yeah, but I want to say, because even at work when I go to play Pokemon Go during my 15-minute walk breaks, I see that Team Valor's pretty much taking over gyms. They're the ones that are taking over gyms. You don't see any real Instinct gyms taking over. But at first I got a little competitive about it, but then I realized that Team Instinct's main goal is not to be competitive. It's to be funny. Like they're the meme kings, which is fine for me. I like that.
well, my band teacher was actually on Team Instinct, right? And and we were all teasing him about it, right? And he said, "Hey, shut up! I like playing video games on hard mode."
Yeah. So because what was Team Instinct's leader, or gym leader, or trainer, or whatever?
Sparky?
Yes.
What is
Sparks.
his name?
Yeah, I think his name's Sparky, and he's like a meme sensation. Like everybody loves him.
Mm-hmm.
He's all over the internet. You couldn't find Twitter without like seeing him on it. Like I
Yeah, because
remember
the other two team leaders, they look like so uptight and like regal,
So,
and this
yeah.
guy's just like so laid back.
Right, they had like a comic book, well, not a comic book, they had a comic strip of Team Valor and Team Mystic going to Alola because Pokemon Sun and Moon came out around this time. And they were studying the Alolan Pokemon. Meanwhile, you got Sparky climbing on top of a Alolan Exeggutor. So yeah, I always loved that, and I loved the unity between most of the teams. Team Mystic, I think, was mostly just supposed to be like, oh, these are the smart hipster who play Pokemon or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, but yeah, I liked the Team Wars. I thought that was a nice addition to Pokemon that separates it from being the same old thing, because we're normally the ones fighting the teams.
Mhm.
Now you get to be a part of a team. I like that. That's pretty
Definitely adding a competitive aspect to the game. I feel like that's what helped it take off so well. Because if it was everybody just catching Pokemon, I feel like it wouldn't have even lasted like as long as it did. I feel like it would have
cool.
been
Nowhere
like
near.
it would have been like a 1 week thing. But I think the teams actually like what propelled it to like maybe 1-2 month like global
doing.
success.
It let you ask questions to a real person about things that happen in Pokemon. Normally, when you back in the day, you saw somebody playing Pokemon, like, oh, Pokemon, yeah, what was your starter? Charmander. I got Squirtle. Da da da.
Mm-hmm.
When you look at somebody now, it's like, oh, Pokemon, what team are you on? Like, how many people have asked you what team are you on?
Oh yeah, I remember I was like out
Because
eating.
I've had all sorts of people ask me what team I'm on.
I was out eating lunch one time, right? And and I was wearing my Ash Ketchum hat, right? And this old guy comes over and he's like, "Hey, what team is that?" And I thought he meant like the C, like the green C on Ash Ketchum's hat, or the L or whatever it is. And I was like, it's not a sports team. It's a Pokemon hat. He's like, yeah, I know that, but like, what Pokemon Go team? I'm like, oh yeah. So that was pretty wild.
Right. And so and then when we will go further into that, let me ask this then. How did you feel about the battle system of Pokemon Go? Because honestly, that to me is its weakest point.
Yeah, that sucks. I am not a fan of it. I mean, again, it's simplified gameplay. I feel like it works for the catching, but not so much the battling. It's just so spammy, and there's very little, like, the only real skill that you have is just dodging. And I feel like that's why you don't have player versus player, is because it would just be like super boring. Like, it maybe works in a raid scenario. It could work for gym battles if you're doing it in a team, but for player versus player, it's really just not a good system.
Yeah, for me, the battling, and for those of y'all who are watching, the battling system basically goes where each Pokemon doesn't have 4 attacks like normal. They only have 2. Usually the first attack is their quick, known as their quick touch attack. The attack they can do basically when you tap the button. Their hold attack is the attack that happens when you hold the touch screen. It's usually more powerful. To me, it doesn't work out for me only because it feels so simplistic. Mm-hmm. And I guess they did that so it could relate to the casual fan so that they won't have to get their butts kicked each and every time. But at the same time, like, I feel like there could have been another way to come at, think there's any way they could have made battling on Go a little bit more interesting, or
I don't know really. Like, I feel like you said, you don't want to make it too overcomplicated for the new people. Like, you don't want to overwhelm them with all these tight matchups and know what every move is and accuracy and stuff like that. I feel like if they're ever gonna introduce PvP, then they should do like the traditional Pokemon games. Because if it's just, like I said before, if it's just tapping, then what's the point of even having PvP? You can look at your opponent's Pokemon and determine whether you win or lose. Like, just be like, oh, I have a higher CP, I win. Like, there would be nothing else to it. I feel like if they had PvP, they would have to.
The other thing was, with the battles I didn't like, is the whole gym system. So one of the fun things about Pokemon is being able to look at somebody and be like, hey, you're a trainer? Yeah, I'm a trainer. Let's battle. The problem with this was that, like, you didn't get that connection. Once you beat a gym, usually the gym is controlled by an AI. It's not controlled by a person, it's controlled by an AI. So after you beat the gym, what do? You have to drop one of your Pokemon off just to sort of hold the gym down for a little bit, which it's gonna get its butt kicked. No one's ever stayed at a gym for like a week. It's gonna get its butt kicked.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So it's just like, I don't know, I didn't feel a level of connectivity with my Pokemon and the people that I'm fighting, because I'm not fighting anybody. I'm keeping my Pokemon at a spot, and it's a turf war. It's like, okay, my Pokemon's just gonna stay here and claim this turf long enough for somebody else to take it within 30 minutes after I leave.
Yeah, it's like one of those things where, like, man, I wish I could stay here and actually be a gym leader and actually fight someone, but that's just not the way the game is designed. Like, it just wouldn't work out.
Right, it's so awkward to play a Pokemon game that doesn't have trainer battles or wild battles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
So let me, John, do you feel like you're actually connected to your Pokemon on Pokemon Go?
A little bit, but definitely not to the degree of, like, the main series Pokemon games. Like, I'm like, oh, hey, I caught this one at such a nice place. I'm like, there's maybe good memories, but the ones that you caught, but besides that, not too much. Like, it's just like, oh, I drop them off and that's it.
I think it's because of the constant reappearance of that Pokemon. Like, I caught Pikachu thinking, oh wow, this is a special moment for me.
Oh yeah, like everybody powers up their starter at the beginning, right? Because they think, oh, this is gonna be relevant, and then your starter is probably one of the first Pokemon that you're just supposed to transfer because it's not going to be good.
Yeah, that's the CP system. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So from that, you really don't build much of a connection with your Pokemon, right? Because you could have, like, oh, I got this 2900 Dragonite, but you gotta transfer as soon as you get that 3000 Dragonite. Like, if it spawns, nothing's really permanent.
Right. It's just like, one of the things is when I'm playing Pokemon, I expect to build like a relationship with the Pokemon, and honestly, the only reason I have any type of a connection with the Bulbasaur that I caught at the beginning of the game is because I nicknamed him, but that's about it. He's like the weakest Pokemon I've ever caught, because the more you level up, I think the stronger CP Pokemon you meet, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That is correct.
So yeah, it's so weird to me that I can't. The only way I'm going to be able to make this Bulbasaur as strong as my other Pokemon is if I catch a bunch of other Bulbasaurs. and get a lot of Stardust and evolve the Bulbasaur into Venusaur.
And Stardust is such a hard thing to get that you really don't even want to use it that much. You want to just hang on to whatever your most powerful thing is.
Yeah, and it's just like, I guess that transitions to our next topic. What do you think about the power-up system of this game? Because I was so used to Pokemon just leveling up after battles, and then I come to see this to me is an atrocity. So
I don't really mind it, but I still wonder why they had to go with CP instead of levels. Like, they're even integrating CP into Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee, which I didn't notice at first. It's just like a little subheader underneath the level, and I'm just like, there was nothing wrong with the level system. If anything, CP is more complicated than levels are. So, I don't know. CP is just weird to me. I mean, I guess that it's sort of the way of showing, like, maybe it shows new players like, oh, hey, a level 100 Volbeat is not equal to a level 100 Blaziken. Like, I think that's what CP was trying to show people, was that just, hey, some Pokemon are naturally better than others, but I don't know. It's still weird to me. But I don't really necessarily dislike it.
Okay, so to me, I guess since I'm the devil's advocate on this one, to me, the CP system is so wonky. It's just like, first of all, evolving your Pokemon, I was told that there is an app that allows you to calculate what CP your Pokemon will have after evolution. I don't know if that's true or not.
Yeah, there's some stuff out there on the internet that'll do that for you.
Yeah, but it's so random to me. Like, I'll have like 2 Nidorans, right? Nidoran male. One will be CP64, the other will be CP125. I evolved the CP64 one, and it turns into a Nidorino that's CP336, and the other one will turn into a Nidorino that's the one that's 125 will evolve into a CP225 Nidorino. It's like, what?
Like, the math just doesn't check out.
Like, what? I don't get it.
Yeah, I think the weirdest experience I had was when I evolved my Trapinch, and since Vibrava's attack stat, see, I think attack and defense are the biggest things that go into calculating CP. And since Vibrava's attack stat is only half of what Trapinch's is, I think Vibrava's CP actually goes down when you evolve it. It's like the only Pokemon that does that. Yeah. I mean, it goes back up when it evolves into Flygon, but when you evolve from Trapinch to Vibrava, it's like the only Pokemon in the game that actually goes down.
That's so weird. That's a glitch, right?
No, it's just an actual thing. It's just how they calculate CP. It's not a glitch.
They gotta fix that.
And then I think, like, at the beginning of the game, the most notable thing was like, oh, you evolve a Caterpie or you evolve a Weedle, its CP basically stays the same, or it goes up by 1 in the most extreme cases. But like, if you get a Metapod or Kakuta, it doesn't go up at all.
Wow. Yeah, and it's just like, another thing is, do you see the real point of evolving Pokemon, knowing that their evolution is probably out there somewhere?
I mean, I do if they're, like, rare. Like, normally what I do is that I used to just evolve the Pokemon as I got the candy, right? And then I realized that wasn't really a good situation, because let's say I get, like, a CP 500 Charmander, right? And I think, oh, this Charmander's pretty good, and I have 25 candies, and I evolve it. And then as soon as I evolve it, I run to a CP 700 Charmander. And then I feel really dumb, because I could have evolved that. So now I just wait till I get, like, the total, like, 125 candies to do both evolutions. That's what I do now. And then I'll choose my strongest one. I don't evolve them on the fly as much anymore.
So, alright, yeah, because me... I guess there's some Pokemon you have no choice. Like, I think Gyarados you can't find. You have to evolve.
I actually did find a wild Gyarados one time.
You can find wild Gyarados? Okay.
Yeah. It was like CP 400. It sucked compared. Like, if you find a good Magikarp and you evolve it, you'll easily have like over 2,000 CP Gyarados. But wild Gyaradoses are out there. They're just not guaranteed to be good.
Okay, that makes sense. Like, I guess because they want you to raise yours.
Yeah, like I encountered a wild Dragonite, and it was like CP 1600, which is like not great for Dragonite. I still powered, that's like the one Pokemon I actually powered up because its IVs are like 98% or something, and I was like, I'm not going to pass this up. I'm not going to get a Dratini or Dragonair is better than this, so I'll just keep powering this one up instead of evolving something else.
Right. So, yeah, with me, it's just like, yeah, if there's a very situational, like, I know I'm not going to see the Pokemon a lot situation, then I will evolve it. But for the most part, I've been just sort of a Stardust hoarder and a Poke Candy hoarder because I'll just save it all and then power up my Pokemon later, especially since I left the game for a while. And since I left the game, there's a couple of my friends that kept playing. And I know they're like super powerful now, while my Pokemon are still sort of just now in the mid 1,000, like in the mid 1,000s. Yeah, about in the 1,000s. While their Pokemon are rocking like 2,000s and crap.
Oh yeah.
And then let me ask this then: what was your thoughts when you could have companion Pokemon, the Pokemon that walk with you?
That was a good addition, actually. I still think that the buddy system is like a little rigged against you. Like, I don't like being, especially for things like Bagon and stuff, I don't want to be like, oh my god, I have to walk 5 kilometers for one candy. It seems a little ridiculous. If it was like 1 kilometer, 2 kilometer, 3 kilometer, I feel like that's a little bit better than 1, 3, and 5. But yeah, that's my only gripe with it. It's just like some of the distances seem like really ridiculous. Like, I think Mareep is 5 kilometers for some reason. Ralts is 5 like Pokemon that shouldn't be that rare, right? And they are. Right. Like, I'm thinking Ralts is gonna be the most god-awful thing, because this thing is like, not only is it like really rare, but it comes from 10k eggs only, and it has it has the 5 kilometer buddy distance as well. And I'm just like, you're gonna have to get 125 candies to get this thing to Gallade, or not Gallade, Gardevoir, and then you need 125 more candies to get it to Gallade. So I'm just like, God, that is gonna be, you need 250 candies because it has a branched evolution.
So many dead Ralts.
Oh my god, like, that just seems wild to me. Like, I'm not looking forward to when Gallade comes out because I don't even have Gardevoir yet. I'm just like, God.
Right. And then just, I remember with while we're talking about the Magikarp thing and the Gyarados, I remember for some odd reason, I took a trip to Florida, and I think that was the closest I ever got to getting Gyarados. I didn't even get Gyarados, but I got really close to Gyarados because apparently Magikarps just sort of appear in Florida for some reason. Like, they're every goddamn where. So that was the closest I ever got. So I like the fact that it's based slightly on where you are that determines which Pokemon you catch. I know.
Yeah. Like, I think Ice-type Pokemon are slightly more common in, like, mountainous areas and in the north. Yeah. Like, the difference is not notable, but if you go, like, a pretty far distance, you will notice a few differences, actually.
Now, for playability, I guess they wanted to go ahead and just make a lot of the Pokemon accessible, even if they don't fit the environment. Like, you're gonna see an Electabuzz, even though that doesn't make any goddamn sense.
Yeah, that's true. Like I went to the beach, right? And I'll find like, I think the beach, since like it's a popular area, there's a bunch of Pokemon that spawn there like all the time, and of a wide variety. Like, I found like a Dugtrio out in the ocean, and I'm like, this isn't supposed to happen.
It's not even supposed to be in water.
He's supposed to be dead, but he's out here. Or I found a Charmander out in the ocean one time. I mean, it's like, okay, that's wild, but it happens.
Yeah, I guess they just did that to make it accessible, because I know, like, one thing I kind of thought was interesting, I thought, like, they took some of the Pokemon and put the common Pokemon in widely populated areas, like Pidgeys, Rattatas, and them. I was expecting those would be in, like, the city, but then once you go out into places that are harder, you would find harder Pokemon to encourage people to go out. Okay, I need to go all the way out here if I want to find this rare Pokemon. I thought that was the whole point. But then you wind up seeing that they just put Pokemon sort of anywhere, and it's like, All right.
Yeah,
Well,
it's pretty much the opposite. Like, you'd think, oh, I gotta go to a cave to get like a rare Pokemon. I gotta go somewhere obscure, right? But all the powerful, all the rare stuff is generally concentrated in cities and other highly populated areas. If you're in the country, if you're in a rural area, you're screwed. Like, you're just gonna find like the commons.
I had so many friends that were just like, yeah, I found one Pidgey out here in the boonies,
Yeah,
and I'm
so-
just like, wow.
So that was probably the most disappointing thing about how just the Pokemon spawn is. I'm just like,
Distributed, yeah.
I'm just like, dang, you think logically that you would have more diverse Pokemon out in the country as opposed to the city, but that's just not how it works, sadly.
Yeah, and I know as the years have gone by, though, as the 2 years have gone by and Gen 3 is out now, which, by the way, I really like how fast the Gen jumps were.
Yeah. I did not like what they did with Gen 3 as much as Gen 2, because Gen 2, I think they did the babies, and then
they had a baby transition.
And then they just did all of Gen 2. And then Gen 3, I think they dumped like 20 Pokemon at a time, and they were all spread out by like a few weeks, and I'm just like, God, can we not do that for Gen 4? Or at least they'll maybe do evolutions first for Gen 4. I hope they don't do pre-evolutions again, because pre-evolutions are just bad. But
well, I guess they did that in Gen 2 because Gen 2 introduced eggs.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah, so they probably did that as an introduction. But as far as things go, I like the fact that 3 generations are already out in the past 2 years. Because, well, one, it does show that they're going to catch up. Hell, they're already releasing a Alolan Pokemon.
Yeah.
But, 2, also, it makes the availability of Pokemon a lot more generous now.
Yeah, I think that they're going at a pretty good pace, actually. Because obviously they don't want to go too fast, because there's only 7 generations. And if they get through them, then what else are they supposed to add besides just a few new features? And then I feel like it's not slow enough to where people will lose too much interest. It's just enough to where it keeps people coming back. And plus, I think Hoenn especially came out like the perfect time, because I think I just completed the Johto Pokédex. Like, I just caught like Miltank. I think that was the last Pokemon I needed at the time that Hoenn dropped, and I was like, okay, that's good. So I think the timing has been pretty alright for these generation drops. I'll give them that.
I can agree with that. That's one of the good things. I think, to me, as I've played the game more too, I've realized that my primary goal when playing Pokemon Go is specifically to just sort of catch what I like. I see people out here, like much like you, who are, I'll tip my hat off to you guys. You're trying to complete the Pokedex, and I'm like, well, really now? Like, okay, you have fun. If I find something I like, I'll catch it. Like, I was playing the other day, and this was me getting back into the game, realizing that Hoenn's in the game, and a bunch of Pokemon just all popped up at once. I skimmed through all of them, saw like Kabuto, and I'm like, I like Kabutops, I'll catch that. Screw all y'all, I want that Kabutops, because there was like Anorith out there, and I'm like, I don't like Armaldo like that.
Oh man, Armaldo's so cool though.
Yeah, but like, I don't know, I guess the idea is that since Armaldo's so cool, it was going to take like 70 Anoriths in order to equal one.
Oh, yeah.
But they have gotten a little bit more generous with the Pokemon transfers too, I noticed too. Because back then, oh boy, like, you would transfer a Pidgeot, and it'd just be one Pidgey candy. And I'd be like, what the actual fuck is this?
I don't think they changed the capture rates or the transfer rates. I think they did was that like if you capture evolved Pokemon, it gives you more candy.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So like you can still transfer a Pidgeot and get 1 candy, but if you catch the Pidgeot, I think it gives you like 5.
3.
Yeah.
Oh, you get 5. Oh, okay.
Well, you get. No, wait. Is it 10? I don't know. I think it's 3 for base form. I think you get 5 for middle form, and then you get 10 for fully evolved.
Okay, that's a lot more. That's way easier because I remember.
And plus you can pineapple berry too. So like that's.
Oh, you get more candies for
Yeah, like I know like when events are going on, dude, I'll get like those 20 candies per catch with the pineapple berry, and I was like, oh, that's how you do it right there.
I'm liking the events too. I gotta say that I really like how the events have come out. I'm not a fan of raid battles though. the only reason I'm not though is because that means I have to rely on everybody else to help me catch a Pokemon. So that means if I go and I find, I'll tell you just a little story. I found Moltres and by my job. Unfortunately, nobody works. I mean, nobody plays Pokemon Go near my job, or at least if they did, they weren't in that area. That is the worst
feeling when you're just trying to get something that you really need, and then nobody shows up. Like, if you're on a college campus, you're set. If you're in like a nice crowded area, then you'll do all right. But man, most places it is hard to organize like raid.
Yeah, I was at a plaza, and most of the people at the plaza are like way older than me, and they don't play Pokemon. So I was like, I'm gonna fight the Moltres. This Moltres starts stomping me out.
Oh yeah, it just becomes a waste of revives at a certain point. You're just like, oh my god.
Right, Moltres was just stomping on every Pokemon that existed. It was horrifying. It's just because he was at like level what? I think the legendary Pokemon are usually like extremely high levels.
I think they're at like
4,000.
Oh, when you fight them as like a raid boss, they have like 40,000 CP or something.
Yeah. Meanwhile, my Pokemon are barely in the thousands, and Moltres is just stomping on each and every one of them. And like for some reason, one of the strongest Pokemon I had was just like Exeggutor, and I was like, this isn't gonna live.
Oh yeah, Exeggutor always had a pretty high CP.
Yeah, like, oh, and remember when, like, Vaporeon was just flat out broken?
They had to nerf the crap out of Vaporeon. They not only nerfed his CP, they also nerfed Water Gun, just because of Vaporeon.
Because he was broken. He didn't have, like, I think you could, like, press Water Gun so quickly that he could just destroy everything. And,
yeah, like, I think it was more viable to just keep spamming Water Gun than it was to use Hydro Pump. Like, because it was so fast and it did so much damage.
What did you think about when Ditto first made its appearance? I caught like a random Pokemon and it turned into Ditto, and that blew my mind.
I think the first one was alright, but most of the time when I catch like Rattatas and Pidgeys and stuff, I'm just trying to evolve them and get EXP. So now, after the first one, it just kind of became an annoyance.
Ah, okay.
So
makes
that's just me though.
Sense.
Plus, Ditto's not really that viable. People tried to do some stuff with him at first, like people were putting him in gyms because they thought, oh, he'll just transform to a more powerful version of the other person's Pokemon. But I think most people stopped that. Like, Ditto's just not great.
Like, oh, if my Ditto turns into the legendary Pokemon, it'll stand a chance. Like, no, the legendary Pokemon's still gonna stomp it.
Yeah. Because most of the time, it's just a lesser version.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's just a weaker version of the original. That makes sense. Because Ditto still has a level, right?
Well, I think he copies the CP. I don't know if he does or not. But I think most of the time, like, the original's gonna win just because of the way that the programming works. Right.
Plus, transformations take time. So.
Yeah, and they don't attack. The AI doesn't attack as fast as like regular people do. So if the two Pokemon are going up against each other, then whoever taps faster is just gonna win. So that's why Ditto's just not viable.
Did you ever get that little Go Plus keychain or whatever that some people could buy with the game? I never got it.
I never got it because, if one, I could never find it, and then when I actually thought, like, oh, I can find it because it might not be popular anymore, that's when I heard the horror stories of people, like, having shinies and stuff run away because they just wouldn't check. They just hit the button and stuff, and it's like, I think Cerebi Joe or someone was like, oh, just lost a Dragonite because I was using the Go Plus. I didn't bother to check what it actually was.
I saw the Go Plus on at GameStop, and I just didn't bother. I think at this point I was just sort of Pokemon Go'd out because like I said, there were so many things, even to this day, there's so many things that turn me off about the game, where I have all of these Pokemon. Because the whole point of having 6 Pokemon on your team is because that's supposed to be your family. That's your team. That's what you go in with. Those are your mains. And then like in any game. Well, in this game, if you beat a gym and want to take it over, you got to drop a Pokemon off, but you can't drop off your strongest Pokemon because you got to use it to take over another gym, right?
Yeah, like and plus I think the stronger Pokemon is, the faster it loses motivation now. So
right, yeah,
that's another thing to consider.
That's so weird. Anyway, so yeah, and then when you get like your second strongest Pokemon out there or something to hold the gym down, then you're down one team member, and it's just like none of these Pokemon to me feel like I'll have a connection with them because yeah, this Pokemon's my strongest Pokemon today, but I'm gonna level up to level 32, find a 2000 CP Executor, catch it, and it's gonna be my new, like...
Yeah, it's just funny because I see a bunch of people drop off like CP10 Ralts or a Tatter or something like that because they know that like as low as if it's like 10 CP, like its motivation will stay up high for like a week. But if you drop off that
last a week,
if you drop off that 3000 Tyranitar or whatever, like it'll be gone in like an hour. Like it's drained out. Just how fast it goes down.
Right. Because he's tired of carrying this team.
Mm-hmm.
But, so, yeah, it's just, to me, I didn't dig it. That's why, at one point, I even considered just stopping gym battles, because I was like, the minute I put a Pokemon in a gym, I walked away. I didn't even get, like, 10 feet away, and, like, he's already lost. And I'm like, dude, Gengar, what is your problem?
Yeah, that definitely did happen when people just stake out gyms, especially in the early days.
Right, like I would take a gym over, so I'm over here scanning the area looking for what fucker did it. 10-year-old kid over here with his phone.
There was a guy on my college campus who every single night he would take out every gym on campus, and that's a ton of gyms. There's like 50 gyms or something on my campus, and he would just take them every single night. And dudes had to like have words with him after a little while. He's like, "Come on, man, you're taking everybody's coins. You can only get 50 coins a day anyway. So like, why do you need that many gyms?"
It's just, yeah. So there's some things that just like, I feel like for casuals it's fine, but I guess when I play. I'm so used to how Pokemon is. I guess when I play Pokemon Go, I shouldn't take it as seriously. That's probably my fault.
Mm-hmm. I literally just play it for like the collection now. Like that's pretty much it.
It's a collector's game. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because I'll be like, because you know, it's a relatable thing. People will talk about, oh, Pokemon Go, or oh, you play Pokemon? What's your Pokemon Go thing look like? And I'll show them my giant Dragonite or Tyranitar or Groudon or whatever I have, and they'll be like, oh, that's so cool. So that's pretty much the only reason I still like to play, is I like to show off the stuff.
I like the exclusive stuff. Like, I remember the Pikachus with the witch hat for Halloween.
Oh, yeah.
The Ash Ketchum hat, where I was able to evolve Pikachu into a Raichu with an Ash Ketchum hat. So
I got a shiny with that hat. That's how awesome that is. Oh
yeah, that's good. That's cool. And then I'm so mad I couldn't find it, but those Pichus with Ash's hat made me.
Oh yeah.
It frustrates me that I missed that event, but you know, it is what it is, I guess. But yeah. So I do like the fun of collecting some of these Pokemon just for to be there. But at that point, it's become a collector's hobby and less of a competitive. And I shouldn't really take it that way, because mobile games are meant for casual gaming. I don't think there's a competitive all-around mobile game really out there, and if they are, there's usually microtransactions to win. So
yeah,
that's one thing I will respect Pokemon for. It didn't give in to microtransactions.
I will say
Pokemon Quest.
I will say Pokemon Go with its microtransactions is actually the fairest thing for like any mobile game I've ever seen.
It is. You don't need them. You don't need them to win the game.
Because really, like, I have not spent like a single penny on Pokemon Go so far.
Me neither.
And I've done perfectly fine, if not better, than most people have. Because like, it's really not required. I mean, you might just, because like, first of all, the coin system is beyond generous now.
Right.
You get the 50 coins a day. That's enough what you need to not have to buy anything. Like I have like 2,700 coins right now.
Hell, your average thing costs like $200. So what? That's like 4 times 50. Or
yeah.
No,
And I won't buy anything besides like the occasional bag upgrade or an extra egg incubator. That's about it. Like, I don't think anything else is really worth buying. Or maybe the special boxes that they'll have during events and stuff. But, like, I think the system is beyond fair, right? Like, it's there if you want to take that extra step, if you really want to take it seriously, but most people don't, and it's okay, so.
It is a complete, opposite of their new game that came out, Pokemon Quest. Literally, if you have $30, you've won Pokemon Quest.
I've heard that's a pay-to-win game. That's why I stopped playing Pokemon Shuffle, because when you get past a certain point, It's
like,
literally just pay to win at a certain point.
There's this guy who played Pokemon Quest, and he was showing it off on YouTube, and he plays it, and he goes, well, because he lost to the first big boss, and he's like, well, time to win the game now. And he takes out his wallet, and then he pays $30, and then he buys all the like expansion packs and stuff. And at that point, they play Kanye West's. No, it wasn't Kanye West. It was Jay-Z's. Like no one man should have all that power. He's just like wrecking the entire game now.
Oh my god!
And then he goes, "I did it. I beat the game, and it only cost $30 for this free-to-play game."
Yep.
It's just so hilarious.
That's the way it works.
So yeah, I'm glad that this is the fairest game, because I have other games on my phone. I've got Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. I've got Dragon Ball Dokkan Battle, and I think a Naruto game on here where literally if you want to get anywhere, you're gonna have to just buy more things in order to get better. The Pokemon, I haven't used a microtransaction since I started. And people have actually been telling me, even after I left the game, that I'm still pretty powerful. But that's because when I played Pokemon Go, damn it, I played it like I was walking to like all these areas. And I know evolving helps you a lot. It gives you a lot of XP. And I was very strategic with my what are those? The lucky eggs?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. Overall, like, I guess if you don't take it as seriously as the main core Pokemon game, if you set your expectations kind of low, it's not going to disappoint. It's a fun collector's game.
It's definitely a fun game, and like it's better than walking somewhere and doing nothing, checking Twitter, checking Discord. Like it's just a fun thing to do when you're going from point A to point B. Like
right. My only real gripe, I wish there was a way for us to, interact with the Pokemon more. This is a phone game, and it has a touchscreen. Why aren't I able to pet the Pokemon? Like Pokemon and Me would work fine here.
Oh, that would be so cool, actually. I would love Pokemon and Me.
Right, Pokemon and Me works good here because you don't have to worry about it breaking the game or anything. A Pokemon and Me would actually work out here. Because of what it is. The mobile game, you use touchscreen and everything like that. And the main series Pokemon game, Pokemon and Me, is broken.
Yeah, you could be like, oh, I want to save my revives, or maybe overstore a little bit of HP or something instead.
Right, or like, oh, if your companion Pokemon has been petted enough, they'll find 2 candies instead of 1.
That would be neat. I think they should add that in.
Yeah,
it's definitely a flawed game, like you said. There's a lot of stuff they could still add in there. I think they have come a really long way. Like the game was super bare bones when it came out, and now it actually feels more like a game because it has features in it that aren't just catching Pokemon.
Yeah. And also, why can't you take selfies with your Pokemon?
That's a good question. That's a very good question.
You have the AR camera, so you're able to do it. Which they got an upgrade, by the way, because my phone wasn't able to do the AR camera. Now it can. So good job on that.
So, like you said, I think it's definitely flawed, but it's come a long way. And at the end of the day, like, it's still enhancing my life, I feel like, because like I said, I wouldn't be doing anything else walking from point A to point B if I wasn't playing this game.
And I'll agree with you at the beginning, John. It definitely brought a lot of people together. Like I said, I can't believe I sat there and watched that retail stores are having deals specifically for catching Pokemon.
Oh yeah, I remember someone said like, oh, if you're on this certain team, you get like a free appetizer or something at this place.
Yeah. Like, oh my God, I remember that. The movies. Yeah, I went to a movie. It was a hometown movie, and they were like, hey, the manager plays Pokemon. But whoa, the manager's like 40. He's like, yeah, he plays Pokemon. If you're on team, like, Mystic, unfortunately it was Team Mystic. He's like, if you're on Team Mystic, yeah, you get discount on snacks. I was like, God darn it, but at least I'm glad they're participating. Fine. And then I remember people were talking, like, oh, a couple of guys at the office are playing Pokemon, and we got this, like, Team Valor Guild or something going. I was like, it really brings out the child in a lot of people, and I really appreciate that for that. So I guess since we're talking about the casualty of it, let's talk about the big elephant in the room. Obviously, let's go Eevee and let's go Pikachu. John, just real brief. Well, your overall thoughts of it, and then what you liked and disliked.
I feel like like I said in my big review video that I did a few days ago, I feel like a lot of people are overreacting about the catching mechanics. I feel like it's not that big of a deal, because most people will just spam revives when they get past the 3rd gym or whatever, or not revives, repels, and it really, I'm only going to be disappointed if it's for legendary Pokemon, because throwing a bunch of balls at Mewtwo and waiting an hour and having him just pop out and not battling him sounds really lame. But for generic wild Pokemon, I am totally okay with it. Like, I feel like it's a good Kanto remake. I feel like it's gonna, pushing Gen 8 off and giving Gen 8 more development time, and hopefully they'll learn more about the Switch in the process from this game.
Right, it's a testing ground, yeah.
Yeah, I hope that this means that there won't be like another X and Y situation where they clearly weren't ready for the console jump despite all the development time because they had to make all the new models and everything like that. I feel like that's what this game is being used for, more of a beta, like you said.
Yeah, it's a test. Yeah, and what better game or generation to do it than red, blue, yellow, fire red, leaf green.
I know people are sick of Kanto, right? People are like, oh man, it's Kanto and whatnot.
And I am too, but here's the thing, and I thought about it a long time. I took a long time to think about this. What better region to do it than Kanto?
Yeah.
Kanto is like, Kanto's so simple.
This is not just the new generation, right? This is a new era of Pokemon, because we have left the handhelds and we've crossed into the console dimension now. So this is important. I feel like having Kanto to sort of like soft reboot the series was a good move on their part. And would people rather have like a Sinnoh remake with Pokemon Go stuff and have it bare bones? No, people would hate it. So I feel like if it has to be anything. Yeah, if it has to be anything, it has to be Kanto, because people, imagine if this game was Gen 8, or if this game was a Sinnoh remake, and it had to play like Pokemon Go, and it had to be all casual, and people would have hated that. So if it had to be anything, let it be Kanto.
Yeah, and Kanto, Kanto to me is the most double-edged sword Pokemon game. I've never in my life, Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow are not my least favorite games by any means, but they're not my favorite games. They're literally in the middle. I can still play them again without getting bored. And the reason for that, though, is because Kanto is so simplistic, and sometimes you just need that level of simplicity.
It's very explorable. It's not hand-holdy, really, at all.
Right, and it's not theatrical. There's no philosophical villain that's like, man, that guy pushed me down the stairs one time. Now I want revenge on all people in Pokemon.
Yeah, and I'm gonna wipe out half the universe, haha.
Now I will catch the Pokemon that controls all of the mustard in the world. Like, I don't have time to deal with this deity and this philosophical villain and this rival that loves the shit out of me. Go on somewhere.
Yeah.
And yeah, sometimes I just want to be a Pokemon trainer. And Kanto is the one region that's like, all right, here's your Pokedex, here's your Pokeballs, go out there and be a Pokemon trainer.
I mean, yeah, for the first game, there's like, it just sends you off.
Yeah,
you,
it's like,
you expect for the first game, like all the other Pokemon games have tutorials, and I'm like, why do I need tutorials in this Pokemon game? This is the 7th, 6th, 5th, whatever Pokemon game, but the first one gives you like no blueprint at all. It just sends you on your merry way and expects you to figure out the game.
Because the game is mapped out in a way where you have no choice but to progress forward. The first gym in Viridian City is locked on purpose because it's the big building that catches your attention. When you try to go inside it, it's locked. There's only one way to go after that, up. The game specifically is built so that you have nowhere to go but up. Once you go up, you'll reach Pewter City. Oh, it's that big building again. Is it locked? No. Oh, it's the gym. Like, the game's guiding you. Like, it's guiding you. And it never has to say anything. Once you click on people, the NPCs will be like, well, yeah, you can go there if you want to, I guess.
And the NPCs will tell you stuff about the game, which is nice, but like, there's no...
But you gotta go out of your way to do that.
There's not even a capture tutorial till Gen 2. Actually, wait, there's the old man.
There's the old man, but he gives you the option.
And I don't even think he weakens the Pokemon. He just throws the ball. Like, that's it. Like, he doesn't tell you, like, oh, you have to weaken the Pokemon or anything like that. Like...
Right, and in Gen 2, again, it's optional. He asked. But then once we hit Gen 3, it's forced.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't understand why there has to be more direction in the later Pokemon. We're getting a little off topic here, but that's just
the
mini
point.
rant.
So,
mini rant.
So yeah. So that's the point, though. Is like, if it has to be Gen 1 for a Pokemon, literally what they're trying to do is connect the mobile game to a console game, which I'm sure it's been done. I just don't think it's been done to this degree, has it?
Probably somewhere. I have no clue, to be honest, but definitely not on the scale of Pokemon, I don't think.
Right, because Pokemon's famous for that kind of stuff, though. Pokemon was, to me, in its heart of hearts, Pokemon was always meant to be portable.
Mm-hmm.
That's why, because literally it's in the name, Pocket Monsters. So I get why, if Game Freak's finally making games directly for the Switch, it would make sense here for the Switch and not those those older consoles like the GameCube and other stuff. Other companies did XD Gale of Darkness and Coliseum and Stadium 1 and Stadium 2 because those were expansions of the already existing game, or they were spin-offs. This one, it makes sense because the Switch is a portable and a console game at the exact same time.
Mm-hmm.
So if nothing else, if Pokemon has to be portable like this and it's on a mobile, then I'm glad they chose to make it simplistic first so that we don't get an XY situation.
Yeah.
Where it's like this is a completely new region and we're just trying this. Plus it encourages people to get a Switch, because I know a lot of my friends have been like, oh, I gotta get a Switch now. Which that's fine.
And it's at the end of the day, like if people don't like the way this game is laid out, they don't have to
skip it.
They don't have to buy it. And it's completely. Would you rather have nothing and then Gen 8 still next year? Like, it's not like this game. Like I had people who were like, man, they did this game instead of Diamond and Pearl remakes, and it's like, no, Diamond and Pearl remakes were never in the question. They're not coming for a while. This game.
Plus, I think that they should be done with remakes for a while.
Yeah, it's like this game did not replace Gen 8. This game did not replace Diamond and Pearl remakes. Those games are coming out when they come out. This game is just an addition. And if you don't like it, you don't have to play it. It's okay.
Hell, they even made it. They even put it in the trailer, which is the first time I've ever seen them do that. This is the first time ever where they're like, oh, well, wait, hold on, guys. Hold on. The real Pokemon game's coming out 2019. Calm your tits.
Yeah, they made the announcement right after. They were like, yep, Core Series is coming later. It's all right.
That was so funny to me. I've never seen them, like, so quickly just be like, whoa, now. Like hold on. And what I also respect is that they make the fights not like Go. Like, yeah, the game is closely connected with Pokemon Go.
Yeah, you still have like actual trainer battles and like
but
with
you
the
still
4
have the
moves
game.
and whatnot.
I guess because GameFreak is in this, so they still keep the old RPG fighting.
Yeah, you got like half Game Freak, half Niantic, so it definitely has elements of both.
That's good, and honestly, this is so weird. It's such one trailer that I got to dissect the easiest, because every area is an area I literally remember from the Kanto region, because the Kanto region, it's so simple, you can remember it within like what?
Yeah, like you can see every area, and even if the graphics are vastly different, like, oh, I know where that is.
Right, I was like, Future City, that's Cerulean City, that's the Nugget Bridge, that's the I was just pointing it all out, and it's gonna be so interesting to see it all in enhanced graphic mode. Yeah, because the game looks beautiful. Let's get that out of the way right now. It looks gorgeous.
It does. The only thing I think that's weird about it is that we're back on the grid again, or not really. Like the characters are off the grid, right? Like it's still like Sun and Moon, right? But everything is like the cities and the routes and whatnot still have that blocky grid-based design, and so that looks weird after playing Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, because they're not confined by that anymore.
Right, but I think for the sake of Kanto, they kind of had to do it that way.
So
because Kanto's built like a grid.
Yeah, so that's probably the weirdest looking thing in the game. But besides that, it is very beautiful looking.
Right. Oh yeah, it's gorgeous. I like the character designs too. I like how they
actually look 10.
Yeah, I've been sort of tired of the whole Alola thing too. So yeah, I'm like, yes. We're actual trainers again with book bags and trainer gear and stuff. We don't look like we're going to the beach. Don't get me wrong, I like Alola, but I was getting sick of it. So yeah, it's good to break away from that. And overall, what do you think about Go Park? Because I know that's going to be kind of weird. I think that's going to take Safari Zone's place, by the way.
I don't know, cause like
there's no point in a safari zone anymore.
That's true. That is true. You just mentioned that. I hadn't even thought of that until now.
Yeah, because Pokemon Go is a safari zone. So yeah, if you want a safari zone,
especially if this is a sequel, like they said, because Safari Zone was already canned in Gold and Silver, and you had POW Park in Gen 4 instead. So
yeah, and the Friend Park in Gen 6.
So. Yeah, you're probably right. Go Park probably will replace Safari Zone. And honestly, I'm not even going to use Go Park. Like, you know, I could, but that would just break the game if I transferred over my OP stuff from Go. And I don't want to break the game. I want it to be challenging.
Right, I want the Pokemon that I get to be Pokemon from the game exclusively.
So,
and honestly, I like you can see Pokemon now instead of having to
I might
ruffle through the grass.
Yeah, I might just wait till post game and like, oh, if I don't have Ninetales because it's version exclusive or whatever, I'll transfer from Go, I guess. But like, I'm not gonna transfer my Mewtwo or my Dragonite or whatever like that. Like, I'm just gonna play with the Pokemon I catch in the game.
Right. And then, how do you also feel about? I guess we could briefly go over 2-player. I mean, there's not really much to say. I mean, if you don't have a friend, you're kind of screwed, but I guess, but whatever.
You can literally just hold one Joy-Con in one hand and one Joy-Con on the other hand, and you can 2v1 people the entire game, unless that bug catcher only had one Pokemon, which he might have. But
it's definitely girlfriend friendly or boyfriend.
Yeah, I guess.
But it's 2000 something. So
I just hope it doesn't break the game. That's my only concern with 2-player mode.
Yeah.
Other than that, it looks great. But if it's 2v1 the entire game, we're gonna have problems because that's too much power for one man.
No one man should have.
or two people, or it could still be one man if you're just holding both Joy-Cons.
Right, but okay, and then moving on, what do you think about the Pokeball?
That's weird. That is weird, but I'm open to it.
I'm scared because I want it, but I want the ability to turn the volume down because I don't want to be at work and all of a sudden Pikachu, Tyrone, you're fired. No! You got me fired, Pikachu.
Yeah, I think that's a neat little thing. The first thing I thought of was a Pokewalker, and I was like, that's neat. That's really neat.
I still have my Pokewalker. It ran out of batteries, but I still have it. So yeah, I like when Pokemon goes the semi-Tamagotchi route. I don't know. I always liked that. I kind of wish that we could, if we reached further enough into the future, we can fully utilize that. But I like the Pokeball. I like the way it looks. I like the fact that it lights up in the middle.
I don't know how it's gonna work with only one button. Maybe it's exclusively for catching and just not for playing the game. But who knows?
Well, the analog button's supposed to be the little thing inside, right? The button.
Maybe.
The Pokeball's button is supposed to be the analog stick. I saw that in the trailer, I thought.
I don't know. Maybe. I have no clue.
Yeah. I think it's the right size, too. Like, it's not too big.
It's not too big, not too small. It's pretty alright.
Yeah. It's a nice size, too. For a Pokeball, that's a decent size. That's good. So, yeah, I just hope it doesn't weigh like a ton.
Yeah, hopefully not.
Like, because I've been seeing, I saw this thing on Twitter where it's like you throw the Pokeball, but make sure that your strap is strap is around your wrist.
Well, it's considered a normal Joy-Con, so I assume it'll have the same technology, the same hardware.
Right. Somebody posted on Twitter, it's like I can see it now, and it shows their TV screen, a picture of their TV cracked. Because they threw the Pokeball right at the TV.
Yeah, that might happen.
Yeah, and then people are gonna sue and
I want the shiny Sonic!
Oh, yeah, and good, and kids won't be able to choke on it, because, fucking kids find ways to make, because I remember the Burger King Pokeballs got banned because a kid, like, suffocated on the red part.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why would you put that on your mouth? But, like...
It's always something. It's always something.
Yeah, well, yeah, and this is a size where I don't think anyone can, die. So, yeah, good. That's a good thing. I guess the only other thing to talk about is the special Pokemon, the exclusive new Pokemon. They never said new, they said special.
No, they said it's like a never before seen Pokemon. And so it's like, is that like a Gen 8 tease? Like I remember they put like Bonsly in XD Gale of Darkness when he was new. That was a Gen 3 game. They put Munchlax in there too. So I'm wondering if it's like that, if it's a Gen 8 tease, or is it Zeraora? Is it another mythical from Gen 7? Who knows? Because, like, if we do have another year of Gen 7, then we probably will need another mythical for a movie, I guess, so.
Will it, and that's another question, too, is, like, will the new Pokemon have a storyline based off of it that separates that way Gen 1 can have a little side quest story that I think would be nice? Will they have that, or will they not? I don't know.
Hope so.
I hope there's an arc revolved around it, and I hope they don't reveal the arc before the game.
Oh, yeah.
Like they did with so much other stuff.
So much recent stuff. Hopefully they learn their lesson. Hopefully things are looking up.
Right. Oh, and I guess I should also ask this. The Pikachu and Eevees are probably evolutionary locked. You can't.
Yeah, that's already been confirmed. You can't evolve them. You can catch other Pikachus and Eevees, I think they said, and you can evolve those.
Catch Eevee. You can get Eevee in Pokemon. Yeah. Let's Go Pikachu. And, like, I'm sure you can get Eevee in the Celadon Mart.
And I saw that you can get, like there's, I think there's a screenshot of a Bulbasaur walking behind people, so you can still get starter Pokemon. Like Bulbasaur, Charmander, Squirtle.
Right, and then I'm sure you can get Pikachu in the Viridian Forest.
Probably.
So that's good. I'm glad they're not, like, this is the only one in the game.
Not repeating Yellow's mistakes.
Yeah, and you have the option. That's good. I like that because I like Raichu and I don't really care for Pikachu at all. But and that's good. And obviously I think the Eevee and Pikachu will be buffed in some way. Like I'm sure they're going to be exclusive. Like
probably you're like you start with the Z crystal for their Z move or whatever like that. Like that would be neat. So there were the rumors that said like you make like the Joy-Con pose or whatever. I don't know. Sounds weird. But
I'm sure though, because like I said, Eevee and Pikachu on their own aren't really great battlers, especially Eevee. Because
really
Eevee's a normal type
Or they
Pokemon.
introduce like a light ball type thing for Eevee, but I don't know.
Yeah, like an Eevee stone or something. But other than that, I think that's about it majorly. Overall, I'm getting the game because why not? You know?
Yeah.
I like
it's a Pokemon game. It doesn't hurt.
Right, and it looks chill. Like it looks like a really chill Pokemon game because it's Gen 1 and Gen 1 is a breeze. Like
yeah,
I played Pokemon enough. I know what Gen 1's all about. Hopefully, also it's a good way to see Easter eggs. Like I know there's like if you go towards the branch and click on it instead of cutting it, you get a potion. It's at the beginning of the game. Hopefully that's still there.
Yeah, all the traditional stuff.
Yeah, traditional stuff. So you know, I'm getting it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you getting both? Or are you getting like specifically one?
Oh, that's a lot of money. I'm probably just gonna get one.
Okay, I'm getting. At first, I was thinking of getting two for collector's purposes, but I think I'm just gonna get Let's Go Eevee, and then I'm just gonna get the
most people are going Eevee, so I think I'm gonna show my love to Pikachu.
All right, that makes sense. I think the reason most people are going for Eevee is because.
They're just sick of Pikachu. Pikachu's too cliche.
Eevee's never been a major mascot before. Like, Eevee's always been known to be a mascot, like Jigglypuff and Meowth and them. But he's never been a major mascot. Eevee's always just sort of been there, but not like... I think the only reason Eevee wasn't the main character, because it's gender neutral, but the only reason it wasn't the main mascot is because Pikachu's yellow and primary colors catch the eye faster than brown.
That is true.
Tough break Eevee. But tough break brown Eevee. But no, so yeah, I think people are picking Eevee because you know Eevee's it's Eevee's time. I think this is like the year of Eevee.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So yeah, overall, with that all just being said, Pokemon Go, if you haven't played it, I would give it a download. You know, even if you're not a Pokemon fan, it's good because Pokemon generally is literally there's 802 Pokemon, so it's just a world of possibilities in terms of what to do with them. Some people, you know, collect them. Some people battle. Some people do shiny hunts, shit like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. John, any last thoughts about Pokemon Go in general?
I don't think so. I think we covered about everything.
All right. So yeah. Oh, and a Alolan Pokemon, did you, real fast, Alolan Exeggutor, any thoughts about that? Because that's the only one I've seen so far.
Yeah, it's weird that they release him before the others. I hope the others come out together.
Yeah,
just getting one at a time seems a little lame, but
I'm mostly just waiting for Vulpix.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. All right then. So with that said, everybody, check out John's channel. He makes some really good stuff. JPRT98. Some of my favorites of his videos was like his rankings of Ash's Pokemon. Check that out. You know, he's also got some pretty good stuff going. He's got the Nuzlocke run of Pokemon Heart Gold.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah, he's doing Heart Gold around the time that I'm doing Crystal, so we're both journeying through Gen 2. Check out his stuff on Twitter and check out his YouTube channel if you haven't. Support this guy.
Thank you very much, Tyrone. Thank you for having me.
No problem. With that said, I'll see you guys then, everybody. Tyrone the Guy 3 out.